Welcome one and all. Anime Kyle here, back with another My Hero Academia chapter reaction. This week we have chapter 283, titled 75. Last time, Shigaraki flung the quick racing bullet at Aizawa, making contact with his leg, but Aizawa cut it off before the quick racing bullet could take effect. And then Shigaraki shockwave propelled himself straight at Aizawa, clawed at his face, but Shoto showed up with an ice blast right in time to save his professor. And then Aizawa passed out as Deku landed a 100% smash on Shigaraki. So Shigaraki at that point could regenerate as Deku ran away with the passed out Aizawa Rocklock Manuel. And Shigaraki regenerated. He's ready for battle. Gigantomachia is tearing straight through like 20 cities on his way to his master. And that's where we begin with chapter 283. So let's dive straight into the manga. On the first page, we've got Momo, Jiro, Shoji, Sero, some of the Class 1B students, Mina, looking on in horror, basically. And then you just see a path of destruction through the woods that they're staring at. Sarah says, Shoji, are the other heroes you know? And Shoji says, it's too far. I can't confirm either way. So all the other heroes could be dead, it sounds like they're saying there. Then we get a shot in the rubble of Tokiyami holding some doctors and Hawks, who's bandaged up now at this point. And Momo says, absurd. We only survived. Then you see a shot of just destruction from Gigantomachia as Fat Gum and Amajiki are getting blown away. We only survived because they didn't consider us worthy enemies. That's why we're alive. And then you get a shot of Gigantomachia with giant claws for fingers, grabbing the ground and coming down on the heroes. And then Majestic lifts up the students with his quirk as Momo yells out to him. He says, your decisions and actions were correct. You kids played this right. Whatever happens now, don't ever doubt that. And then you see the students flying off as Gigantomachia's fist comes down. Then we got the Mushroom Girl and Mineta in a panel, and she's saying, hey, shouldn't the sedative have kicked in by now, Shroom? And Mineta says, our decisions, our moves. Did we do the right thing, really? Then it cuts to a panel of Hawks who got a question if he did the right thing killing twice, which, I mean, in the situation, obviously, it's the right thing to do. It's a hero killing a villain that was going to cause a lot of destruction and death. And the heroes, too, did they make the right choices? And then you get a city being destroyed as some of the Liberation soldiers are rushing in after Gigantomachia. Seriously, this whole nightmare, didn't we just make it all worse? So Mineta and the students are really regretting their decision to try and stop Gigantomachia, apparently. Then you get a shot at Dabi and Toga and Compress and Spinner on the back of Gigantomachia. Dabi looks really happy. Well, can't really read Compress's how he's feeling. But Toga's looking pissed. Spinner doesn't look too happy either. And then Dr. Yujiko's really excited about Gigantomachia on his way. You nearly had us beat, if not for that one slip-up. One of the police officers tells him to shut up. Shigaraki waking up turned everything on its head. Gigantomachia is a calamity who lives and dies for his master's sake. And you see some anger coming over President Mike there. The foot soldiers we called Nomu were modeled after the big fella because every king needs his soldiers, right? Good ones. Good, strong ones. So you get a shot at some of the heroes facing off against the Nomu still. And now with Maki on the move, total destruction is inevitable. And get another shot of some destruction. Shigaraki will bring your hero-saturated society crumbling down. Then you get a shot of Shigaraki standing in the dust, Deku looking pissed, Aizawa with... He's not looking too good there. There's a lot of blood coming down his face. Then you get a panel of Shoto pulling up to his dad. Endeavor says, Shoto. Shoto responds saying, I had to help Ryukyu and them first. Cool off with that ice, it should at least provide some comfort. Then you get a shot of Bakugo sitting there next to Gran Torino, looks like. And he's saying, damn it, as he remembers Deku running away. Then you got Deku, Rocklock, Manuel looking over Aizawa, saying, elevate his leg and stop the bleeding with his binding cloth. Crap, it gets tangled so easily. What's with this cloth? And then Rocklock says Deku as Deku's over there huffing. He says, just run. Deku says, no. And Deku looks really mad. We got a feral Deku in this panel here. As you got the tears rolling down his face, the anger in his eyes. And then Shigaraki says, well, time to die. And then a giant gash comes across Shigaraki's chest, almost removing his whole right arm there. He says, huh? Deku says, that's right, with a bunch of tears in his eyes. Shigaraki says, I see. I get why I was all busted up just a second ago. I had to push past my body's limits to keep moving. And then he thinks to himself, but now my hyper regen quirk is back. My body shouldn't have any limits at all. And then, as he's staring at Deku, he says, what's the date today? Deku says his body. Gran Torino said he got the all-for-one quirk transplanted into him. That power is too much for his body to keep up with. As Deku, with tears still strolling down his face, he remembers all the past times he used One for All when his body couldn't take it and it broke his bones. So he's thinking that All for One's kind of like that for Shigaraki since he just got transplanted with it. And it's his first time using it. His body's not ready for it. Then we get a panel shot from back when Mirko busted open Shigaraki's vat at 75%. So that's why Shigaraki's finally getting repercussions from that now. He's seeing the consequences of coming out early. And then we got a hero carrying Mirko through the streets, saying, stay with us, Mirko. You win this by staying alive, and you will win. Then Shigaraki says, whatever, hyper regen is still working, so his arm and wound is slowly healing up. It's not healing as fast as it was earlier. And then we got Deku throwing out some black whip tendrils as Shigaraki's going to touch the ground, it looks like. One touch should end this, Shigaraki says, as he makes contact with a couple fingers on the ground. We start to get the decay effect going as it looks like someone jumps in the air. And then Deku is flying in the air with Black Whip attached to everyone. One for all, the 7th users. And Rocklock says we're floating. Gran Torino's up there too. Endeavor, Shoto, Rocklock, Bakugo. I think maybe Ryukyu somehow. Deku's got everyone attached to his Black Whip right now, and they're just floating. Then we got a shot of... Okay, I thought Gran Torino was dead. How do you survive? Alright, so Gran Torino's somehow alive, remembering when he was flying around with Nana Shimura, and he says that's Shimura's. And then we get float. Up here is where I'll beat you, I swear it, with all I've got. As Deku gets ready to punch Shigaraki in the face. And the next chapter will be back September 18th. Next chapter will be back September 18th. So we got a break next week, which Horikoshi has been on absolute fire recently. So the man deserves as many breaks as he wants. As long as he keeps putting out quality content like this, I cannot complain. So this was a very exciting chapter. We got to see some of Gigantamaki's destruction as he blew right past the heroes and is on his way to Shigaraki. We get the devastation and regret from the young student intern heroes as they're on one of their first missions, basically, for a lot of them, as actual heroes. Then we get Shigaraki finally getting the consequences from not finishing his surgery and coming out a month early, I believe it was. Then we get Deku very mad and upset, basically, for what's happened to Gran Torino, Aizawa, everyone. And he starts rushing at Shigaraki. Well, no. Shigaraki decides to touch the ground. Shigaraki is about to release a Decay Wave when Deku floats everyone up, saves their lives, and then threatens Shigaraki and says he's about to end things here. So, with a 2-week break, who knows where what will happen next chapter? We got Gigantomachia coming in. Shigaraki is still going to have some consequences from that 75%. His body's not going to be able to hold up completely. So he's pretty close to his limit here, I think. I mean, he's still going to be able to use his quirks and be a pretty dominant threat. So the heroes are still in a very bad situation, unless the sedative kicks in. But we still have Dabi on his way to where Shoto and Endeavor are. So if the Dabi being an Endeavor Toya reveal is coming, that would probably be pretty soon. He's got Skeptic with him, so he could hack the broadcast system and broadcast it to the whole world, basically. So anyways, guys, I'd love to hear what you thought of this chapter. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe also. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great week.